think we need to do a bit more embarrassing. Yeah, I think that'll work. Hello, welcome to Hub Live. It's Thursday at 1 o'clock and we're coming to you live from the SmartHub in Rockhampton, and I have a very distinguished guest with me today called Matthew Doyle. Hey Matthew, how are you?
I'm good. I'm even better now that I've been called distinguished.
I know, it's a big word. So we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're actually going to give everyone a bit of a chance to hop onto the live. Usually we just delve in and I would say, yeah, I'm so excited, we're going to talk about marketing. But today we are going to talk about some more sales and marketing and technology. But I think we'll just give people a bit of a chance to hop onto our Facebook Live. So if you're watching, give us a thumbs up or your comment with where you're from or your postcode so that we can say hi. And also today we'd like to encourage questions. So if you have any questions, Matthew is phenomenal at answering questions, aren't you, Matthew?
We're about to find out.
So please ask questions. So how are you going?
I'm very well, very well. It's been a busy morning talking to a bunch of school kids and things in a local C2C event, but I'm doing very well.
Oh, that's awesome. Did it go well?
It went very well. It's always very well run and a great opportunity to share and connect with children. So I made some young girls a little bit self-conscious about their body language with an exercise I was running, but that wasn't my intention. So we're doing a little bit of a matching and mirroring exercise, and when they realised I was matching their body language, they realised what mannerisms they were using. I was a little bit embarrassed, but
oh my goodness,
it worked well. They learned some things out of it. So.
Good, excellent. Well, I was just saying to Matthew that he's wearing pink and I'm wearing orange. What can go wrong? It's perfect. So Matthew's business is actually called Business in Bright Socks. Show us your bright socks.
Well, I'll try this without falling off the chair.
So Business in Bright Socks, no shoes. You're a SmartHub member and you're always here with bright socks and no shoes.
That's exactly right. I always tend to find I work more, I don't know about work better, but I'm always more comfortable with no shoes on. And the socks are always just a little bit outrageous, so it just works.
We do that here at the SmartHub every now and again. Some people do outrageous, others do conservative, but it's good.
It's very much, we have a great mix, and it works well together.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So Matthew, you're in the NDIS space, aren't you?
That's a space I've moved into. So I started predominantly with this business and leadership coaching idea, working in a charity, not-for-profit, social enterprise kind of space, so what I'd call purpose-driven business kind of space. And the NDIS was just a natural evolution from that.
Yeah, there's heaps of opportunity in NDIS. Like, what's happening there? Tell us. What's the government doing? Where's the focus? What's going on?
I refer to it as the biggest change in social policy since Medicare. It is a huge change in government policy that's really opening up opportunities for Australians with disabilities across the range of different disabilities that people might have to access services they couldn't access before, to gain funding for all sorts of kind of things, but also to have choice and control over who provides those services to them. So previously, disability services organisations got big pockets of money and you kind of had to go to whoever had the money if you could get in. What this has done is gone, well, we fund the participant for a certain amount of money and they can choose who their provider is as long as they're sort of registered and meet the requirements. And so it puts that choice and control back in the participant's hands, opens up access to services that they didn't have access for so and from a business perspective, opens up opportunities to a lot of people to be those service providers and to actually get out and work for themselves and just do what they love, providing services to help make people's lives better. Which is why, coming from a background of referring to myself as the world changers coach, these people who are out there trying to change people's world, making a living, it just was a natural fit for me to get in and help them in that space.
That's perfect. So you are a coach.
Yes.
You do coaching. You're also a speaker, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what you do is you help NDIS providers build a solid business so that they can provide excellent service to their clients. Would that be a correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we help them to build businesses that thrive and change lives.
Oh, nice. Say that again. You help them to build businesses that thrive and change lives.
That's exactly right.
Including their own and their clients' lives.
That's exactly right.
How cool is that? I love it. Okay, so Matthew and I, prior to our Facebook Live starting, we had a little bit of a doodle on our whiteboard at the back here, which I'll move in a moment so you can see our SmartHub logo again. But essentially, what we've been doing with these Facebook Lives is trying to tell a few stories about our members and help get our members to tell stories about how they're using technology to grow their own businesses, to save time, to make more money, and to grow their teams. And we started with marketing. marketing. And I had someone in here on Friday and he said, oh, I've been watching all your Hub Lives, and what I see is that everything's about marketing, and marketing must be really important for that reason. I said, yeah, marketing is really important, but then I realized that I never actually gave you a bit of a structure around how we will be moving through topics in these Hub Lives. So this is what Matthew and I were doing before. So in the middle here, this is a bit of a structure that I often use when I think about business. If you imagine that this is the business environment with lots of people, and this is a bit of a diagram that represents business. So essentially we have marketing and branding right at the top, because that's the part that really integrates with your environment. And then once you have someone who has called your business, you have someone who's interested in what you have to sell, then that's called a lead. And then the next process is sales. So sales is the conversion of a lead into a customer, which then we get to deliver our product or our service to them. So essentially marketing, sales and service is the heart, the engine of the business. If you do this well, you get money. Money is the blood flow of the business. So money, cash flow, financial systems, we'll talk about that when we get to this part. And to run all of this efficiently and consistently, we need systems. And we need people, a team, to run the systems. And if we put a team of people together, we need to tell them where we're going, how to do things, what to do, how to behave. And that is what I call direction. And then at the bottom here, which you'll see is the biggest box, is leadership. Now, this part of the business is never bigger than the leader's ability to lead. And so that's my kind of structure in business. And then Matthew said, well, I have one too. And he wrote his down here. Take us through yours.
Yeah, so I guess mine's very similar, but again, it's in a different design. And you can see, so anyone that's been in business for a little while will know that it can be a bit of a circus. So I love using the analogy of looking at the business model like a circus tent. And so there are a number of pillars that are very similar to what is in your model, Elize, but they go around the outside of the business here. So think of these as all of your pillars that hold up the walls of a circus tent. Mm-hmm. And so we actually start down here where I've got in the bottom of the flight plan of the business. So not the dusty old business plan that we sit on the shelf and never look at again, but a flight plan is something that is dynamic, has to be changed around bad weather, it has all of those kind of things. So using a flight plan, plus I'm an aviation nerd as well, so it works well for me. But
so that would be my direction.
That would be your
where
direction.
Are you going? What are we doing?
Plan.
How are we doing it?
That's right. And working with clients, we actually go from the runway, which is today, through to 40,000 feet, which is where we want to be in the big picture. And then, of course, we've got these important ones of marketing and sales, which were over here. Innovation, Tony Robbins would say constant and strategic innovation. We just use the term innovation, which around systems. Optimization, so always tweaking things to get better. Of course, developing a high-performance team, people that are empowered to do what they need to do, and the right people. And again, here we have leadership as the foundation of the model. In my model, it sits in the middle, and that's because in the circus tent, if we take one of these out, we're going to have a weakened part of the structure, but we can probably fix it. But if we take this leadership out, the one that holds up the pointy roof in the circus tent, the roof will come down and it'll pull all the sides in with it. So without that leadership to drive it, and again, going back to Tony Robbins, he actually says the number one chokehold on any business is the skills and the psychology of the leader. Period. Nothing else.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's why leadership sits in the middle.
So when we get to leadership, which will be kind of towards, in a few weeks, I think, towards the end probably of our Hub Lives, I'll get you back and we'll talk about leadership. But today, we're at the pointy end of the arrow, and we're still talking marketing, sales, and delivery.
Yes.
Really, we've only touched on marketing. We've had a couple of sessions with different members around marketing. We've spoken about how to use Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, etc. for digital marketing. We've also spoken about the difference between any marketing campaign and effective marketing, around knowing who your customer is, testing and measuring your marketing results. But you have a very interesting view on marketing, and you were drawing it out there just before. You said it's a flywheel. So tell me about your marketing.
If you're familiar with what a flywheel is, it's something sort of in machinery, in the industrial, which is really interesting coming from me, who's got no industrial skills whatsoever. But it's sort of something that just constantly turns and generates a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And so the view of your marketing, and so if we take the top of your triangle right at the top, we put it over here, we end up with a flywheel, or what I call a perpetual momentum model.
Yeah.
And you can see we have three different arrows around the outside of our flywheel that drive. We've got attract, which is our marketing, so attracting leads into the business. Engage is how we connect and then obviously convert those people into clients. and delight comes to how we deliver our products and services. And if we do that well, they'll not only all work well together, they will keep pushing the flywheel round, which will generate momentum for the business. And of course, sitting bang smack at the middle of that flywheel and holding it in place are the clients, and it just shows the importance of in keeping the client as the central focus of everything that we do and all of our decisions and marketing, and it's all driven by them and for them.
Okay, so number one thing is attract.
Yes.
And that's marketing.
Yes.
And then engage.
Yes.
Engage them in your business. That's the process of sales.
Correct. It's the
sales process. And sometimes business owners don't really think of those two as two separate systems.
I didn't when I got started. It took me time to separate the two.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. And then delight. So when you do your delivery, when you deliver your product or your service, even if you're delivering a product, it always goes with the service. Then delight your customer.
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. So I'm going to move the whiteboard so we can see our amazing Hub Live or SmartHub without breaking our media wall. Okay, so what's the difference between marketing and sales?
Well, marketing, I suppose there are a number of different aspects to it. So marketing, I mean, you have in your model there as well, branding. So marketing can simply be building an awareness of your brand and an awareness of your existence, and it's something I work with a number of clients on at the moment, is the branding side of things more so than marketing. But marketing, we use the word attract. It's about attracting people into your business, people who have either not heard of you before, maybe they have heard of you but don't really understand what you do or don't realise that you do something for them. So your marketing is about attracting their attention, helping them to understand how you might serve them or what they do, and just building that initial connection with a potential client.
Okay, so you said before, when you got into business, you didn't understand the difference between marketing and sales. And so what happened when you didn't understand? Like, what was the result of that? Tell us the story.
Well, I think you end up with a really sloppy and disjointed sort of process. I mean, not understanding marketing really and how it works. I mean, there's a story I love to tell with clients about learning how to do marketing effectively, which I think was something you said you talked about last week.
Yeah.
Where the first time I ran adverts on Facebook, it was about come and connect with me. Like, nobody knew who I was, anything like that. And this advert was saying come and connect with me, and we'll talk about something to do with your business. And I think the first time I ran Facebook ads for $10 a day for an entire month. I spent $300 and the ROI was zero.
Oh, okay, stop. ROI, what is that?
Return on investment.
So the amount of money you made in return for the $300 that you spent, zero. So essentially, you could have just spent that money on something else or flushed it down the toilet, same result.
I basically threw it out the window. I basically
got it.
wrote Mark Zuckerberg a check and went, take your wife out for dinner, and that was pretty much how it went. And that all come down to not understanding that marketing was about engaging with the people, their problems, their goals, and showing them an understanding. And it takes a number of forms. So marketing, from my perspective, is a lot of content development. So you're actually writing things or doing these kind of videos and those kind of things that grab people's attention and initially help them, just answer their questions, their goals and those kind of things. Whereas obviously the distinction between marketing and sales is getting that, marketing, you might be trying to get an email address, you might be trying to get a phone number, you might just be trying to make that connection with somebody. Sales, you're trying to take them to that point of actually becoming a customer. So marketing may get people on your database.
You are awesome.